undulated sky melt into the landscape. Two silhouettes move along a burst-headed walkway, and the ghostly figures features extends in agony. Since no written artist Edward Wing created that screen in 1893, it's become one of the world's most famous artworks. But why has it cried trouble so far and endured so long? Munk was born in 1863, one of the five children. Tuberculosis devastated Europe throughout the 1800s, killing almost a quarter of all adults. It took Munk's mother's life, then his elder sister Soon after, Munk had his own bout about the disease. Another of his sisters experienced mental illness. Another of his sisters experienced mental illness and lived much of life in the institution. Meanwhile, Monk fell in and out of school due to illness, often spending days at home, drawing and listening to ominous stories his father read aloud. A devout Lutheran, his father considered Monk's artistic ambitions unholy. I inherited the seeds of mustard. I inherited the seeds of madness, Monk wrote. The angel of fear, sorrow, and death stood by my side since the day I was born. Eventually, Monk moved to Berlin, where he frequented the creative circles committed to breaking with academic traditions. Instead developing their crafts organically. While Munch had trained classically, he began immersing himself in what he called soul painting, composition that prized raw, subjective effect over realistic renderings. It's not the chair that should be painted, he wrote, but the person it has felt, but the person has felt at the sight of it. Many of the Munch works Many of the monk's works dealt with personal suffering. His may have also led to certain critics observed as as an sympathetic portrayal of women in works where Monk represented them as cruel predators victimizing helpless men. And death often haunted Monk's compositions, from a skeleton helming a boat to a morbid self-portrait and his sister's final moment to a mother's her deathbed. Her child assuming now a familiar expression. Munch's art generated controversy. Some critics characterized him as an absolutely demented, but he also drew acclaim. But what would become what would become his most famous work was just around the corner. The scream was inspired by a moment that overwhelmed Munch with an acute sense of anguish. Its diary entry marked January 22nd, 1892. Munch described walking with the two friends along a field overlooking what's now Oslo at sunset. He leaned against the fence, exhausted, as he saw the sky change suddenly. He described blood undertones on fire above the blue black field and the city. As his friend walked on Moon Road, I stood there, trembling with anxiety. I sent an infinite scream, passing through nature. As with other painful experiences, Moon revisited the scene repeatedly. First, he depicted with a more recognizable human subject, but the following year, he surrendered to a dramatic, abstracted symbolism, the haunting expression of the figure's skull-like face meeting the viewer's gaze directly. On this first version, he added a subtle wry inscription, could only have been painted by a madman. Based on Mick's count, many think the figure isn't emitting the shrink, but reacting to it. Mick eventually made full version of the screen, all on cardboard and two with pastel with two with paint. He created numerous print and lithographs. The year following the first scream, he depicted the same setting, but it featured a collection of despairing faces. In late 1893, Munch premiered the scream at a solo exhibit in Berlin, The artwork board composition helped fuel the expressionist movement, which likewise emphasized stark psychological states, mapping the emotional contours of the World War I and beyond. The screen contributed the crescendo when it entered the public domain in the mid-1900s. New renditions and reproduction bolstered its fame. It featured a popular film during the 1990s, and the most painted version of the screen was stolen and recovered in separate heights in 1994 and 2004. Soon enough, it was widely accepted archetype symbol for horror and anguish. The screen-inspired emoji was eventually implemented, and considering how to mock hazardous sites so far of future generations could know them, avoid them. The US government has considered using the screen expression. While its myriad cultural influences may not always reflect the personal angle Munk initially rendered, the screen has certainly found a near universal echo.